based upon my standard. You aren't gonna get hold of this dick if you ain't being the woman I need you to be. You need to realize that you need to cook, clean. You gotta understand that you're not the only woman. And if you can accept that, that's fine. That's just the beginning, because you gotta work hard for me, because I work hard for me. So that means if you get with me, it's not gonna be easy street, because I need to be satisfied, because it ain't no happy wife, happy life bullshit. It's happy Steve, happy Steve.
Being strong with self, understanding who you are, is the biggest defense to bitch ass weak men.
And there's no excuses for the men not to be strong. But see, there's so many forces, and then so many men are embracing weakness.
I can't stand weak men. Like I don't like to talk to them. It's hard for me to talk to these losers. I've always been a winner at the winner's table.
You know, I believe it's a sin to impregnate a woman who can't raise a child, you know, or impregnate a woman who's not fit to be a mother. And I think we have a responsibility in what we see today in these weak ass little feminine boys.
I can't tell another man what to do, but I can't dress feminine. I can't wear nail polish. It's just something that I can't do. Why? Because if I'm walking down the street and somebody's having trouble with a flat tire, I want them to feel that they can come to me and ask me, hey man, could you help me out with this? Because those are the type of things that a man will help out with. So I need to look like a man so they can know where to come for help.
Yeah, it is such a thing as toxic masculinity in the minds of bitch-ass motherfuckers.
Talk about masculinity, assertiveness, authenticity, transparency. How can a guy who's straight up and honest with what he does be toxic?
If the media can train you to think something bad about it, you hear the word and you want to instantly have a certain reaction. You stop thinking, you start feeling. And when people learn to think and feel and not think through their feelings, that's when they can evaluate a person holistically. And they can say, is this toxic masculinity, or did I just hear something I didn't like? And why did I not like it? And only let me go within myself to see why.
I don't never look at no motherfucker and say, oh, that's a toxic masculine motherfucker. I never ever had, I didn't even know. That was an invented concept from a weak motherfucker that was like, I'm just tired of this motherfucker trying to tell me what to do and bully you over me with this bullshit.
What's going to make you successful is just understanding who you are and getting your mind right and being happy with who you are. That is the thing that's going to really make you successful. Because after you get all the toys, after you get all these things going on, you've had sex with all the women you want to have sex with, you traveled all the places, you're still going to be you, and you're going to always come back to you.
Why do I do this? Why are we even doing this documentary? I want guys to be in the best position possible. There's no way that I'm raising my voice or calling you a bitch ass nigga because I'm trying to hurt your feelings. I'm calling you a bitch ass nigga because you're doing bitch ass nigga shit. And if you continue doing bitch ass nigga shit, you're going to end up in bitch ass nigga situations. You get what I'm saying? So when I call you a bitch ass nigga, trust me, it's because I love you.
Game Kings 2, The Definition of Man, is out right now. Click the link below or go straight to masculineidentity.com to get your copy today. Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the women you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Top Soil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity. Specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
Click the links below to get private one-on-one coaching sessions with Mr. Locario or Miles Cunningham to step up your game. These coaching sessions are designed to help you with your specific needs in the dating game. So make sure you click the links below right now so that you can step up your game today. Yo, we here. What's poppin'? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in today. Today, the game is going to be heavy as usual, but shout out to my lady, April MC in the building. Shout out to my lady. Shout out to Duke Elect. Shout out to Charisma Strategies. Justin, shout out to you. High Profile. What's going on? Shout out to Dan, Frank, Duke Elect's in the building. No Data in the building. What's going on with your High Profile? Of course, we got up in here. Boxing Plug Dave is in the building. Shout out to Kid Frankie in the building. Joe Blast in the building. What's going on? What's going on? AT in the chat. Copy Paste Chris in the building. Who else we got up in here? Shout out to Activo. What's going on? Aussie in the building. BDP in the building. What's going on? Justin Ludway is up in here. Who else we got up in here? Shout out to Blastomatic in the building, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. So today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why being good looking doesn't make it easier for you. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to go into that. So the other day I did a video where I was talking about the dating game is perfect, and I had a clip that I put on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that, where I was talking about how, you know, a lot of people think certain guys have it on easy mode, right? They say if you're good looking, everything's going to be super easy for you. You don't need to, have game, or, you don't need to do anything or make anything happen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys that that is absolutely wrong, and understand that even if you are good looking to a woman, right, you still got to put in work. And you have to do everything everybody else does. You understand what I'm saying? You're not special because this girl or that girl thinks you're good looking, or this amount of women thinks you're good looking. You're still going to have to put in the work. And I'm going to show you how. So all of you guys who thought you could looks max your way into making shit happen and that you don't actually need game, I'm sorry to tell you that that is not true. And the dudes who are on the internet telling you that, they are full of shit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, before we get into all that, though, make sure you guys check out CunninghamElements.com. Get your masculine identity parfum, masculine identity soap. Go get your shea butter. Go to CunninghamElements.com right now to get that cracking. So make sure you guys do that. Also, make sure that you guys go to shoplocario.com to get the online dating consultation with myself and April. Go on shoplocario.com and set up your consultation today, because you guys are missing out, because there's a lot of women on these online dating apps that you guys are missing out on because you're sitting there waiting and playing games. You feel what I'm saying? Also get the massive game collection. Go to shoplocario.com. Get that massive game collection, 24 of my products in one program for a lower price. Make sure you guys go get that. And last but not least on here, make sure you guys go get Master the Vetting Process. Get that program. Make sure you guys go and get that shit today. You feel what I'm saying? And get all the other, audio videos and all the other stuff on shoplocario.com. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys do that and get that. Also, make sure you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com to join the Masculine Identity Membership so that you guys can step up your game, understand who you are, what you're about, so you can navigate, in this game. And also make sure you guys go to badboymembership.com. That's where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Make sure you guys get the 5 advanced ways to build sexual attention. Make sure you guys go get that program. It is on the Bad Boy membership right now. So make sure you guys do that and get that going. All right, so let's jump into this. And guys, if you want to call in, call the numbers 844-672-7300, 844-672-7300 is the number. So you guys can call that. Make sure you donate. And if you have a question, put a Q in the chat and we will get to your questions at the end. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys do that and get that going. So now let's talk about this. 5 reasons why being good looking doesn't make it easier for you out here in this dating game, right? And a lot of guys, because they don't actually have experience with women, right? They think that it's mainly because of their looks. That's what a lot of guys think. They think that, well, I look a certain way, so that's going to affect the, outcomes, and it's going to affect, my success in the game, right? And what I want to tell you is that the reason why you're having a hard time in the game is not about your looks, right? It's about how you think about your looks. It's about how you come to a situation all insecure. You come into the situation with low self-esteem and all this other stuff based on how you perceive yourself, right? So you perceive yourself a certain way, and then you think women are going to basically perceive you the same way that you perceive yourself, right? Now, what happens is that mostly women are going to perceive you as a loser if you see yourself as a loser, right? But you're going to have some women who, for whatever reason, they just like you. They're just attracted to you for whatever reason. On the surface, they might think you're handsome and all this other stuff, right? But because you think you're a loser, because you think you're unattractive, right? Eventually what will happen is that those women who initially would have liked you or does like you will stop liking you and not be really into you because of how you're coming at the situation. Now, the opposite is true. If you're the type of guy who thinks you're the shit, if you're the type of guy that thinks you're sexy as fuck, if you're the type of guy who thinks that you're on point, then what's going to happen is that you're going to have women who already think you're like that. And then you're going to have women who are going to think you're that way because you're coming at them that way, right? So what I'm saying with all this is that a lot of you guys underestimate how attractive you are based on your behavior or how unattractive you are based on your behavior. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just the looks, it's also your behavior. You see what I'm saying? And so now I'm going to get into, the 5 reasons. And with these 5 reasons, some of these you're going to see that, a lot of it has to do with your behavior. Some of it has to do with, things that have, that you can't control. So I don't understand why you guys think that, looks are the end all be all. But we're going to get into this and we're going to talk about what's going on. So now, let's get into the 5 reasons. So number 1, and this is in no order of importance, we're going to get into it. So number 1, the first reason we got here as to why being good looking is not going to make it easier for you is she has to choose correctly. She has to choose correctly. Now, what does that mean, Locario? She has to choose correctly. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying, right? So the reason why it's not going to be easier for guys who are good looking is because a woman has to choose you correctly. So what does that mean? She has to choose you correctly. So a lot of guys think that if a woman is giving them choosing signals, that is it, right? Or if a woman would approach them, that's the end all be all, like game over. Like she wants me, she wants to fuck with me. It is what it is, right? Now, when I say she has to choose correctly, what that means is that she has to choose you based on what you want to do. right? So even if a woman is checking you out and giving you choosing signals based on her thinking you're good looking, that doesn't matter because her choosing you based on you being good looking is her choosing incorrectly. Follow what I'm saying here. If a woman is choosing you just because you look good and that's all the information she has, oh, I think he looks good, she is choosing you incorrectly. Why is that? Because what happens is in order for her to choose correctly, she has to choose you based on what you want to do. So let's say that woman sees you across the room and she thinks you're good looking and she's giving you choosing signals. But let's say that this woman she's like, I really want a boyfriend. He looks like a really good guy. He looks like the type of guy that I would want to date and get to know. And I would, he seems like my type, right? So now what happens is that she's giving you those choosing signals because that's what she's thinking about you based on her thinking you're handsome, right? Now you see her giving you the choosing signals. And in your mind, you're thinking, God damn, I'll fuck this shit out that bitch, right? That's what you're thinking. So now you approach her with, I want to fuck this girl on your mind. And she's giving you the choosing signals with, oh, I hope this guy, me and him can date. Right? So this is what I'm talking about where she has to choose correctly. So now when you approach that girl and talk to her, and then you let her know that you're just interested in like casual sex and hooking up and all that other stuff, but she's interested in dating and getting to know you and having a relationship, you guys are incompatible. Right? So now let me ask a question. Let me ask a dumb question. In this scenario, how did being good looking make it easier for you to hook up with that girl? I'm just, how is you being good looking make it easier for you to hook up with that girl when that girl is trying to date you and you're trying to just fuck her? Huh? See, this is the part that you guys don't understand. You watch, for example, the King 68, the Great videos, and you're thinking, oh my God, he got these girls approaching him. He got it on easy mode. Really? So what if in the same scenario, the girl is looking at him like, ooh, I want him to be my man, or ooh, I want to date him. And then King 6 is like, I'm trying to fuck this bitch. That's incompatibility. What if she's looking at King 68 and say, oh, you know what? That guy, he's tall. He must be a basketball player. He must have a lot of money. Ooh, let me check him out or go up to him and see if I can get some money out of his ass. And then King 68 the Great is like, I'm trying to fuck this bitch. What are we doing? What are we doing? So what I'm saying is that the woman has to choose correctly. And choosing correctly means when you let her know your intentions, then she chooses that. So if a woman is checking you out and giving you choosing signals, and she's thinking, oh, I want to, date this guy, but you just trying to fuck, her choosing correctly is her knowing you want to fuck and her wanting to fuck you. That's her choosing correctly. You understand what I'm saying? The opposite could be true too. Let's say a girl sees you and she thinks that you are, physically attractive. She's giving you the choosing signals based on that. And let's say she just wants to fuck. But let's say you're the type of guy who, you're trying to date. You're not just trying to do casual. You want to court a woman. You're looking for your person and all that other shit. So now she's trying to fuck, but you're trying to date. You guys are incompatible. You see what I'm saying? So how has, you being handsome made it easier for you to get the girl when getting the woman or the woman being interested in you is based on y'all being on the same page and y'all not on the same page? This is why I'm saying where the woman has to choose correctly. So if she's not choosing correctly, then you being good looking didn't make it easier for you to make something happen. You see what I'm saying? So you guys got to understand that. So a lot of times when dudes are very surface level, they don't think about this stuff. Because what guys think is they think what they think as men is what the woman is thinking automatically. So they're like, ooh, well, if a girl is giving me choosing signals or a girl is showing me some type of interest, then she's interested in me how I'm interested in her. No, you have to find out is this woman interested in me like I'm interested in her? So she has to choose correctly. You understand? See, I sometimes say that when a woman is giving you choosing signals, it don't matter because she has to choose you again, meaning she has to choose you twice. You see what I'm saying? Meaning she sees you from across the room, she's giving you the choosing signals. Then let's say you come and approach her and talk to her. She has to choose you again because she has to see what you're trying to do and what you're about. And it has to align with what she's trying to make happen. See, understand, when a woman is cooperating with you, it's not a woman saying, hey, fuck what I want, I'm just doing what this guy wants. That's not what she's doing. When a woman cooperates with you, she says, what I want is aligned with what he's trying to do or what he wants to do. You understand what I'm saying? She's saying what he wants is aligned with what I want. So if what she wants isn't aligned with what you want, what difference did it make that she gave you the choosing signal based on her thinking you're good looking? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't fucking matter. And this is what you guys got to understand. Because when you're out there, you know, sitting there like, oh, well, all I got to do is be good looking. All I got to do is looks max. And then you do all of this shit and you're still not getting results because you're running into situations where you are incompatible with the woman. So that's number one. So number one is that she has to choose correctly. Now, let's move on to number two. And guys, you want to call in 844-672-7300. 844-672-7300 is the number. You feel what I'm saying? Now, let's move on to number two. Now, the second reason why being good looking doesn't make dating easier for you is because women will say he was cute until he opened his mouth. You understand? He was cute until he opened his mouth, until he started talking. That's what it means. So I ran across this. I ran across this YouTube channel. I'm not gonna say their name, but it's ran by a dude who has absolutely no fucking game, and he has, you know, some other people that come on to the channel that they don't have any game either. But basically, I ran across this video and I was listening to part of it, and they were basically saying like, oh, well, you know, the interaction you have with a woman doesn't matter. As long as you're good looking, that's all that matters. Because the interaction doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're saying, you know, how you're behaving. It's like none of that matters. As long as she thinks you're good looking, you're in there, bro. This is what they're saying, right? And what I'm trying to tell you motherfuckers is that women, they're like, oh, he was cute until he opened his mouth. So what that means is that you ain't got no mouthpiece. What that means is that she sees you as goofy based on your behavior. What that means is that you don't know how to have conversations. What that means is that you're displaying insecurities within your interaction in the conversation, right? So she thinks you, you know, look good, right? But once you open your mouth, you being good looking doesn't matter. April said, I've had dates set and then the guy called me and I ended up canceling because there was no way I could go on a date with him because of the shit coming out of his mouth. Exactly. Exactly. And another thing that you guys got to understand too is that when a woman thinks you're good looking, like she perceives you as being very handsome, you know, she's like, oh, this guy's fine and all that other shit. What comes with that is her perceiving you as being smooth, charismatic, confident, all that other shit. And so if you're not like that, right, it makes you look worse because there's a higher expectation on you based on you being good looking to her. You understand? So what happens is that when you guys don't have a mouthpiece, right? Usually what happens is that it comes from you not being sure of yourself, you being insecure. So then you don't have a mouthpiece because you're not sure of yourself, and you're not sure of yourself because of that insecurity. And that insecurity comes out when you're interacting with the woman. And then so she's like, yeah, he was cute, but I just didn't feel it. The vibe wasn't there. So now, how is him being good looking make it easier for him when she's like, he was cute till he opened his mouth? You see what I'm saying? And then so a lot of these guys, they think, oh, well, all I got to do is be good looking and, you know, that's it. Or that's most of the work is done. No, it's not. No, it's not. See, again, I tell guys this all the time. It is not difficult for a woman to find a guy who she thinks is good looking. It is not hard. It is not hard for a woman to go on a date with a guy she finds good looking. It's not hard for a woman to get dick from a guy she thinks is good looking. It's not hard. You understand what I'm saying? It is absolutely not hard. So what happens is that because it's not hard, because it's not a rare thing, right? Then you being good looking a lot of times doesn't necessarily hold that much weight. Because also a woman's experience dealing with, you know, multiple men, right? She's had better sexual experiences in some cases with men who weren't as good looking as other guys she's dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys got to understand that when you're dealing with these women, she could say, oh, well, he was cute till he opened his mouth. So therefore, that means that you being good looking doesn't make it easier for you to succeed in a dating game. Now, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is her insecurities will make her more difficult. Her insecurities will make her more difficult, right? So I've talked about this before. So what happens is a woman's insecurities will stop her from taking action dealing with you if she thinks you're too good looking. And what happens is that if you don't have game, you're not even going to understand that this is happening. So what I mean by that is that a woman's insecurities will make her act funny style. And you might think her acting funny style is that she's not attracted to you, but she's acting funny style because she is attracted to you. But because you don't have game, you don't know the difference between a woman who's not attracted to you, or difference between a woman who's attracted to you and acting funny style versus a woman who doesn't have any interest. So what happens is that you take her acting funny style mean that she has no interest in you at all. She's not interested in you, and she don't want to fuck with you at all. But you don't realize it's her insecurities which she's rejecting herself from the situation. But again, that makes it more difficult, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have women who don't trust you because they think, oh, well, he's too good looking. He must have a billion chicks. You're going to have women who are intimidated by you because she's going to think, oh, well, he's kind of out of my league. I don't know. He might just have sex with me and leave, and I don't really want that to happen, and so forth and so on, right? Then you're going to have situations where you're trying to make something happen with the woman, right? And she purposely is trying to make it more challenging for you because she wants to differentiate herself from other women. So she's like, oh, I know this guy, he gets it easy. So because he gets it easy, I'm going to be the woman who's not as easy. So I can differentiate from myself from all the other women who make it easy for him. You see what I'm saying? This is why you have all these handsome man game videos online. This is why you have all these so-called handsome guys that's having a hard time getting girls and all this other shit. It's because these things are happening and these guys don't even understand why they're happening. But they thought, hey, all I got to do is be good looking, right? The black pill told me all I got to do is be good looking and everything will just fall in my lap. That's what they told me. I was looking on the internet and, I looked at all these guys with their jawlines and all this other stuff. And I looked on their Instagram profiles and women were giving hard eyes and all this other stuff. So if I look like those guys, then things will just, work out for me. You understand what I'm saying? But what a lot of guys don't understand is that when you are dealing with a woman, you're dealing with a human being. You are dealing with a woman who has her own insecurities, her own past, her own traumas and all this other shit that's gone on with her that cause her to act in certain ways. And when you don't have game, you don't understand how someone can perceive you a certain way, which causes them to react and respond a certain way. right? See, you thought, because if you saw a girl that you thought was really, really, really attractive physically, you'd be like, oh, I'm into her, and therefore I would want to make something happen with her. But notice that same girl that you think is hot and that you would interact with, you're scared to approach her, right? So now, if you're scared to approach a hot woman, what makes you think a woman is not scared to deal with a guy she considers hot? Like, this is very simple shit that we've talked about before. The same way you're intimidated by a hot chick to approach her is the same way a chick is intimidated by a guy she considers hot or physically appealing, right? She's intimidated to fuck with him based on her insecurity. Just like your insecurity is causing you to not want to approach that hot girl you see. You understand? So you guys got to understand how that shit goes. Now, we're going to move on to number 4. Now, number 4 is very, very important. Number 4, I gotta break this down because this is very, very important. So the 4th reason why being good looking doesn't make it easier for you in a dating game is because you are only, now follow what I'm saying, you are only sexually attractive based on your looks to a small amount of women. Shout out to my dude Steve the Dean in the building. Shout out to Steve the Dean in the building. Let's break that down though. You are only sexually attractive based on your looks to a small amount of women. What does that mean, Mr. Locario? That means that if women are telling you that you're good looking, right? Or you're this handsome guy, understand that you being good looking, or you being this handsome guy means that you look a particular way. So that means the way that you look in particular, right, is different than all the other ways that good looking guys look. Follow what I'm saying here, because I don't want this to go over your head. So the way that you look good is specific to the type, the archetype of good looking guy you are, which means that you exclude other types of good looking guys. You understand? So what does that mean? That means, like, for example, if you are a good looking, let's say, black dude who's light skinned, right? And let's say you're, I don't know, 6 feet, light skinned, and you're muscular, right? What's going to happen is that you're going to have a certain section of women who you are their type, you are their ideal type, and because you're their ideal type physically, in some cases, they will be sexually attracted to you just based on how you look. But then what happens is that all the other women who like what you're not are not just going to be sexually attracted to you based on your look, or not going to be all pressed about you based on your look, to the point where they could even say you're handsome, but not necessarily be moved by it. So if you're that tall, light-skinned black dude, right, to the women who really like tall, dark-skinned black dudes, your look is not going to do anything for them. If they like white guys, your look is not going to do anything for them. If they're into Asian dudes, right, your look as a tall, light-skinned black dude is not going to do nothing for them. So if you're this tall, good-looking, light-skinned dude, and you're talking to a chick who's, I don't know, into Asian dudes that look like some K-pop motherfucker, right? How is your looks going to make it easier for you to get shit popping with that woman? Huh? I mean, this is common sense. I don't understand. This is so simple. If you're a light-skinned black dude and a woman is into Asian dudes who look like they're in a K-pop boy band type shit, how the fuck is your light skin ass gonna make it easy for you based on your looks? How? So what I'm saying is that the small subsection of women who you're their ideal type, right? It would probably be easier for you to get their attention. But all the other women who are not those women, your looks are not going to help you. You understand? This is why women can see a guy and say, oh, yeah, he's handsome, and I could see why other women would want him, but he's just not my cup of tea. I'm not really into him. He doesn't really, you understand what I'm saying? Now, doesn't mean that you can't actually make something happen with that woman. What I'm saying is that your looks by itself is not the thing that's going to make it to where a woman's like, ooh, she's not really going to be moved by that. This is what you guys got to understand. So the flaw in, this whole looks maxing, all this other goofy shit, is that no matter how good you think you look, you don't look like other archetypes that look good. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like you're a chameleon. You can't fucking, you can't, like, what's the chick name? Mystique on X-Men. You can't switch your facial features, your race, and all that other stuff to fit the fucking situation. You understand what I'm saying? So you are who you are. So if you're a good-looking white guy and you're dealing with women who just don't like white men, you being good-looking ain't gonna do nothing for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's not gonna do anything for you. And see, what a lot of guys think is they think if they're considered good looking, so if they've had, let's say, a few women say they're good looking, or they themselves think they're good looking, they think that goes all across the board. No, it does not. It does not. You understand what I'm saying? And so when you think that way, that's when you're going to be fucking up, because you're going to think, oh, well, all I got to do is, looks max and look better. And then the game is going to be easier for me. No, it's not. And now I'm going to talk about the fifth reason why being good looking doesn't make dating easier for you. And this goes along with everything I just said earlier. And the fifth reason is that you still have to play the numbers game like everybody else. You understand? You still have to play the numbers game like everybody else. And the reason why you got to play the numbers game like everybody else is for all the things I just said earlier, right? When I was talking about the woman has to choose you correctly, even if a woman's giving you choosing signals, if y'all are not on the same page, it's not going to work out with that woman, which means what? You got to talk to another woman. If a woman says, oh, he was cute till he opened his mouth, right? What does that mean? You got to talk to more women. If you're dealing with a woman who's extremely insecure and she don't want to fuck with you because her insecurities is stopping her, what does that mean? You have to talk to another woman. If you're a good-looking black dude and you're talking to a woman who is just not into black guys, what do you got to do? You have to talk to another fucking woman. And this is why being good looking doesn't make it easier for you in the dating game, because you have to play the numbers game just like everybody else. Oh, but Locario, but if you're good looking, you don't have to play a numbers game as much as everyone else. No, nigga. You have to play the numbers game like everybody else. Because even if you're good looking, like I said, are you the type of good looking the girl is interested in? Right? If you're not, then you got to talk to another woman. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of guys try to find a cheat code in the game. And what you got to understand is that there is no cheat code in the game. So what happens is that when it comes to the game, if you have self-awareness, which is very important, like being, you understand who you are, what you're about, but also you understand how women generally perceive you. You understand? Because once you understand how women perceive you, right, then you understand why women give you the reactions that they give you. Right? See, when you don't understand this in your surface level, you think, oh, well, if I look good, then I'll get women. Or if I start to look better, then I'm going to get women. But you only think that because you're not getting women now, and you're trying to find reasons to understand why. And so you get on the internet and watch these losers who don't have game. You feel what I'm saying? You watch these losers who don't have game telling you, bro, it's all about your looks, bro. You just got to looks max and gym max. And then that's when you see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have game either. You're watching him. You don't have game, so you're believing what he's saying because y'all think the same. And then what happens is you do all of that shit and you still have trouble dealing with women. You understand what I'm saying? You still have trouble. And then you come over here last, and you're like, Locario, what's going on? I don't understand why these women like this. Or, oh, it's these Western women. Or, oh, the game is rigged. Or, oh, it's only about looks. And, because I'm only 5'8", I can't get girls. You understand? So you start going down that path. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you want to get out of the mindset of trying to find cheat codes and shortcuts. There is no cheat code. There is no shortcut in this game. You understand? I don't care how good looking you think you are. There is no cheat code. There is no shortcut. You understand what I'm saying? None. And so once you realize that, you say, okay, if I'm dealing with women and women think I'm good looking, cool. How do I use this to my advantage to get what I want in the situation? And see, the problem is that it's not about everything being all about looks, right? Because this is the surface level thought. Guys are like, oh, well, if I look better, then I'll get girls. And all girls care about is looks, or it's only about looks, and that's the most important thing, yada, 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 so forth and so on. That's not what it's about. What it's about is that when you have game, you say, okay, well, how can I use my looks if I'm attracting women based on the look? How do I use that to my advantage to make things happen in a way that I want it to happen? That's how you should be thinking. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, I want to get better looking so everything will be easier, because it's not going to be easier just because you're better looking. You have to say, how do I use my looks to my advantage to make things happen how I want it to happen? That's what you're supposed to be doing, right? You're supposed to be able to say, okay, I know and recognize when a woman thinks that I'm physically appealing. How do I use that? I know when a woman thinks I'm sexually appealing based on me being physically appealing. How do I use this? I know when I'm talking to a woman who may think that I'm handsome, but it may not be her type, right? Or what happens is that she thinks I'm handsome or physically attractive, but her insecurities are coming in. So how do I use this? You understand? That's having game. Game is having that strategy. How do I use the fact that this woman thinks I'm physically appealing to my advantage to make shit happen and go in the direction that I want it to go? You understand what I'm saying? How do I test this situation out to see if this woman is actually sexually attracted to me and not just physically attracted to me? Right? Because ultimately, I'm sure you guys don't want a girl to just look at you in the face all day, right? You want to have sex. So is she sexually attracted to me? Or does she just think I'm cute? You see what I'm saying? These are the things you should be asking yourself. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is that if you are sitting there thinking, man, I'm not getting girls now. Maybe if I go to the gym and get better looking, then that's going to make me get girls. Right? And then so when you have that thought, that's where you're fucking up, because what you're not understanding is that you're thinking surface level. Right? Because what happens is the surface level is the girl is physically attracted to me. When we get deeper is, how do I use this to my advantage to get the outcomes I want? And see, that's what most guys don't understand how to do. This is why even if a guy gets better looking, he'll get more attention, but he don't know what to do with the attention. Why? Because he got no fucking game. He gets girls that'll say, oh, you look good, you look cute, and all this other stuff, but the chicks still flake. The chicks still beat around the bush and act all iffy, right? The women are all over the place and, being inconsistent. Why? Because the motherfucker ain't got no game. And he thought, all I got to do is be good looking and just chill and sit back and do nothing. And then everything's just going to fall into place. And then when things don't fall into place, he's upset, he's pissed off, he's angry, he's frustrated, he's confused. Because the internet told him, all you got to do is be better looking and everything's just going to happen. And that's not real life. See, somebody got to tell y'all. Somebody got to tell y'all. But guys, if you want to call up, the call-in number is 844-672-7300. 844-672-7300 is the number. We're not going to be here too long, so make sure you guys call up, ASAP. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to call up, if you have a question, put a Q in the chat, and we will get to your question. You feel what I'm saying? So we can make that happen. So let me see what this is. He said, is the fact that you're unsure directly connected to an insecurity? What do you mean by that? You gotta rephrase that. I'm confused. What are you saying? Is the fact that you're unsure directly connected to an insecurity? What do you mean unsure directly about what? So rephrase that. And guys, when you ask questions, right, you have to put in like the context within the question, because y'all will hear me talk and then you'll ask a question about something specific I'm talking about in that moment, and then the moment is past. So I don't know what you're talking about specifically, right? So if you have that, then you got to go to, if you want to understand something specifically, you got to write it in the question or call up. You understand what I'm saying? You got to write it in the question or call up. So that's what it is. Because I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about with that shit. All right, so let's go to 609. 609, what's popping? Who this?
Yo, what's up, Locario? It's Rudy, donated to Miles in the Game.
All right, that's what's up. So what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, so I had a question, but I just wanted to make this one point. You know how you talk about 5 ways? I mean, dating doesn't become easier because you're good looking. And you're just gonna why. I just wanted to say this. When dating actually became easier for me, Locario, is when I started being consistent. Right. like the crazy part is a lot of the answers I've been looking for came from the consistency, because when you're consistent and you're always out here constantly, then you start seeing shit for what it really is, and you start noticing patterns and shit. But the days when I was inconsistent, like, the dating was fucking hard for me, because I'll get shit popping here and there, but because I was inconsistent and I wasn't constantly in the game, I'm thinking about how shit is, how I think shit is, instead of how shit really is. Right. So the consistency makes things easy.
Yeah, that's a fact, because the thing is, when you're consistent, what happens is you start to see patterns. And when you see the patterns, then you understand what to do, what not to do, what's going to yield you better results. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I tell you guys, go to badboymembership.com, get the program, Understanding Patterns, because I talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys do that. But yeah, that's all it is, because the consistency creates, it teaches you more, so you understand what to do more. And then, also what happens is you see certain patterns. So you say, okay, I know I should move here instead of here based on what I've seen before. So it just gives you more insight and more understanding.
Right, because like with the consistency, like two things happen. I noticed. One is I stopped really getting excited or putting women that I think that are very, very attractive on the pedestal, because it's like, bitch, I'm used to talking to girls who look like you every week.
Right.
Ain't really nothing special about you. And I learned that even if you have sex with a girl that looks good, doesn't mean the shit will be good anyway. So that takes it off the pedestal. And the second thing that consistency does is, and this is a major lesson for me, it took me out of my ego and thinking that just because I'm smooth and confident, every girl is gonna want to fuck with me. Like just because I'm smooth, confident, and I watched the Locario membership video, how to flirt, how to build some sexual tension, that I could take a girl who has no interest whatsoever, turn her into a girl that's interested. But when you try that enough times and you see that, okay, nah, this ain't the move. As soon as I notice a girl is not interested within the conversation, don't even bother flirting or try to do anything. Just move the fuck on. And that's the number one lesson I learned. So anyway, my one question that I did have for you, though, I'm gonna make it quick, right? I always hear you guys, especially on the Real Game No Theory show, y'all always talk about be like the type of person that she's never met before, you feel me?
Right.
And like my one question to that is, because I think I know the answer, but I just want to make sure that I do, is when y'all say that, are y'all talking about just a man that does things on his terms because they're used to dealing with guys who do things on their terms?
Yeah, well, basically what it is when you talk about be the man that she's never met before, it's talking about you being in a masculine identity, meaning you being who you actually are. You understand? So when you're authentic, when you're being real, when you're actually being who you are, you're going to be a man she's never met before because she's experiencing who you are as that unique individual. You see what I'm saying? So the problem is most guys act the same because they don't believe in themselves and they don't have game, which is why when guys talk to women, they all sound the same. It's like, hey, what's up? I want to get to know you. Let me take you out to dinner. What do you do for fun? All that other shit. Like dinner. You're right. Guys are saying, yeah, they're all saying the same shit. Right. And so what happens is that they're being like every other dude. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that the experience she has with you, if you are being you, is going to be like unlike any other guy she's ever met, which makes you more memorable, which makes you stick out, which makes you more attractive, which makes you be, on her mind, which makes her want to gravitate towards you. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, women have lots of guys on the front end to choose from. So now the question is, who should she choose out of all the guys on the front end? What's going to make her choose is the most attractive. Who's the most attractive? The guy who stands out. Who's the guy who stands out? The guy who is being who he actually is versus being like all the other guys. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the thing where when dudes are trying to, tiptoe around shit or, perform for women, or they're scared to say certain things, or they're out there just being timid and weak and I'm gonna be passive and try to build rapport with her and get her comfortable and do all this goofy shit that every other guy does. You don't stand out, and therefore you're just like every other guy. But when you do stand out by being yourself, by being the guy who's not scared to let a woman know what it is, by being the guy who's not afraid to approach her and let her know what you want to make happen, by being the guy who's going to only talk to her and deal with her when he wants to and not deal with her when he doesn't, right? Whereas guys do the opposite. They sit there and talk on the phone with a woman for like an hour, even though they don't feel like talking on the phone with the girl for an hour, but they're talking on the phone with the girl for an hour because they think they're supposed to. So they're being fucking fake with the woman, right? Which is what most guys do. And so therefore, what happens is that she's going to see those fake dudes just like everyone else. And if you're a real motherfucker, you're going to stand out. Just like, I'll give you a perfect example. There's times where even something simple like this, if I meet a girl off a dating app, right? And I'll talk about this before. I've heard this a million times. I meet the girl, she'd be like, it's so weird because I usually never meet guys this quickly. Like usually I have a phone call, but for some reason, I just met you. We didn't even talk on the phone, right? So that right there already, she's showing you're different than all the other guys I'm used to talking to. And that's just one thing. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
And even if,
right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. And so even if you at the club or the bar, and let's say you see a girl, and let's say you like want to take her home that night, and you go up to her and you get sexual, and you let her know exactly what you're trying to do with her. That's a way of like actually standing out right there in and of itself, because you're actually being honest in what you want to do.
Right, exactly. So what I'm saying is that within itself is you being real, but also being different, because most guys wouldn't do that, because most guys are too scared to be that bold. Do you see what I'm saying? So,
Okay. And you know some
little
crazy
things like
part,
that.
Locario?
Right.
Like, I will be at the club and the bars or sometime, and I'll get sexual with a girl, and they will really give. I'm talking about the ones that are not interested. They'll look at me with a crazy ass look and be like, "Oh my God, you're bold! Like you're forward! Like what the hell?" And in my head, I'll be thinking like, "Aren't you used to this? Like, aren't you used to guys that are bold, straightforward?" Because truth be told, I don't hang around any guys who talk about what you do. You know, beat around the bush, do all that shit. I only hang around niggas who think like me, who get straight to the point, who don't tiptoe on down the pussy. So when I hear certain girls say that, I be thinking in my head that, hey, most guys are bold, most guys keep it real, most guys do that. I be forgetting that most guys do what you just said do. Take a girl out on 3 dates, beat around the bush.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so a lot of these dudes, they're the same, which makes them average, which makes them unattractive. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I tell guys that it's not just about looks, because everything we just talked about is really mostly about behavior, how you're coming at the situation. Right, exactly. And so that's the thing that attracts. It's like because this is what happens. When you're different, she feels different by interacting with you. When you're just like all the other guys, she feels the same as how she felt with all the other guys. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't move her. She's not, so she's used to the bullshit. So now what happens is that when she actually deals with a guy who's being real, this is a guy she's never met before. You see what I'm saying? That's what it means. When Steve says, "Oh, she's met you before," what he's saying is that you're the average guy that she's met before. It's the same old same. It's the same routine. It's the same nonsense. It's the same conversation. It's the same interactions. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing that makes you not stand out, which makes you unattractive. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because to be honest, bro, I love seeing the reactions on the girl's face when they see that. Let's say I'm on a date and I'm trying to make something happen that night. Like, I just love seeing the shock reaction on their face. Like, huh? Really? I'm like, yeah, we're not going forward in that. And I'm about to get off the phone, but I'm gonna say this one last thing before I go. You talking about like the only way to be different is to be yourself. Like that takes me back to a Lil Wayne quote. Like when he said how to be great in the music industry, he said, the only way to be different is to be yourself, because when you try to be different, you just end up being like everybody else.
That's a fact. Real shit.
But yeah, thanks for the call, though, Locario. Appreciate you doing always what you do. I'm always listening to you, man. Every single day. I respect your work ethic, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, bro. I'm out at you, man. Appreciate it. All right, so guys, call in 844-672-7300, 844-672-7300. Call up. If you have a question, put a Q in the chat. We'll get to your question. You know what I'm saying? So this said, okay, so I think he rephrased it. He said, when you say you're talking and you're unsure, is that directly connected to insecurity? Okay, I'll answer that in a second. I think this is this Charlie?
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
Charlie in the building. What's going on, fam? Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Appreciate the donation. Appreciate the donations. What's going on with you, man?
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to add to this I got two little quick points to say. I just want to add to your amazing video here. And one is like something I was just thinking of while the video was going on, which is like, hypothetically, if like, if like a guy like switched bodies to Locario or whatever, like he'd probably fuck up your whole shit within like 48 hours. Like he would get no bitches or nothing. You know what I mean? And that would just go to prove that looks don't matter. Because we already know the type of game that Locario has. I mean, I know. Maybe some guys on the internet don't know, but I know, and obviously you know it.
Right.
So it's like that right there goes to prove that looks don't matter. And I'm sure you've been rejected, hundreds of times.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I've been rejected probably thousands of times. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But and the second point I want to add on that is like, like the relationship you have with April. I want to give a shout out to April MC. it just goes to show,
Shout out to April.
when you think about it, like,
shout out to April. That's what's up.
for sure. Because, like, you know, she obviously finds you attractive, right? But that's not enough for her because you have to have game too. And vice versa. She's attractive to you, right? But she has to have game too. So in this situation, it just shows the level of game that you both have and how much you guys actually fucking love yourself, you know, compared to the rest of the people in this fucking world. But it's like, you know, because it's like, and really what it is because like a guy could switch bodies to Locario, right? And look for, let's say hypothetically, he liked girls who look like April. Hypothetically, and let's say there was like twins of April, right? So one girl loves herself and the other girl hates herself. The guy who hates himself, he's just gonna deal with the girl who hates himself because he hates himself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like this is why guys deal with the chicks that they're like, oh, she's out of my league. You know what I mean? It's like no, bro. If some girl were to say that to you, that would just be a projection from her that she hates herself.
Right.
And it's like, why do you want to deal with a chick who hates herself? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right, because you hate yourself. Shout out to Stevie Dean.
That's a fact. Because all it really is that, you know, like attracts like. So what happens is if when you hate yourself, you're going to attract and be attracted and deal with women who hate themselves. And then the women who hate themselves attract the guys who hate themselves. This is why you have people who are in toxic, ridiculous relationships, because in order for you to stay in that type of relationship, or in order for you to keep that going, you actually can't love yourself if you're in that situation. Because if you loved yourself, that situation wouldn't make sense to you. You'd be like, no, I can't, I can't even be here. This is like, this is unacceptable. You see what I'm saying? But if you accept that means you hate yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say one more thing. I'm at another 20 or 25, whatever I said before. But, I realized, and because some guy asked this I think it was Friday when you and Miles did your show or whatever, there was like a couple questions in a row about leagues, and I was kind of like writing some notes down. And something I thought about was like, when you pedestalize a girl, right? Basically what you're saying is that some girl, like the girl that you like, is better than the girl that you don't like. You actually think she's better than that girl. And basically what you're saying is that the girl who I like, right? It's basically like the girl who I like, she's not worthy of me being my real self. I'm going to change my whole shit up for her and that's actually a form of hate towards the other person, which is actually a form of self-hate, which is crazy.
That's a fact.
And so it's like, when you guys, and really what it is, Carl, and I used to be like this, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't like this. I used to be like this, not nearly extreme as some of these other guys, but that's really what the fucking thought is. That's why the internet, all these fucking dipshits, I realize, that's the whole fucking main thing behind the whole thing, is that people in society, and for some reason, I don't know where we got lost in the thought that somehow getting a fucking hot guy or hot girl or ex-person or ex-girl or ex-guy, we think that's more important than loving yourself, which is insane. It's the reason why guys say, oh, I gotta have a girl who has no body count and all that stuff. And it's like, if you want to have a standard, fine. You know what I mean? But don't say she's not good enough.
Right.
Like, the fuck you talking about? You're just projecting, just like a girl who would project on you because you hate yourself. It's like, all you motherfuckers hate yourself. And it fucking disgusts me. And I think that was one of the reasons I was like so into your channel, because I realized it just by hearing your voice and what you say. And I was like, this motherfucker Locario loves himself so much. And it just goes to show, and yeah, back to April MC, it just shows to show how much game that she has as well, But it's like, all you motherfuckers call in, and another guy, see the line, all you motherfuckers hate yourselves, And it's okay, because guess what? Locario loves himself so much, and he still loves you so much that he's willing to help you out no matter what the fuck you say to him. That's how much Locario loves himself.
That's a fact. See, Charlie understands the game. You understand the game. That's what I'm talking about, man. And see, that's some real shit you said, is that, see, a lot of times what happens is that the reason why, for example, a guy will be like, oh my God, she's so bad. And he'll try to switch himself up to try to get her. And he's so caught up in her looks and so forth and so on and all this other stuff. Or even a guy being caught up in his own looks, trying to look smacks, and I got to, look like this and have a jawline and all this other stuff and all this other things, right? All of that is, they're saying this because they think they're not enough. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so part of the reason why they want the baddie is because they think they're not enough and they think the baddie will make them enough. The reason why they want the jawline is because they think they're not enough and they think the jawline will make them enough. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why that's where it all stems from, but that all stems from self-hate. You see what I'm saying? So when you love yourself, right? And this is the thing. You can't actually, and this is the part that people don't understand, you can't actually really like a physically attractive woman until you love yourself, because your like for her, if you don't love yourself, is rooted in trying to get validation by getting her to love yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? So how can you how can you actually like her when you feel you need her to like yourself? You see what I'm saying? It's impossible.
Oh my God,
you see what I'm saying?
It just goes so deep, bro.
So that's
crazy,
that's the thing that people understand.
It's crazy.
It's just like, for example, if anytime when a person feels they need somebody, right, they can't actually like or love that person because their need for them clouds everything. It's just like a politician. A politician can't care about you if they need your vote. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they need your vote. So their interaction with you is based on their need for your vote, their need for you. The only time that politician can actually give a shit about you is when they don't need you. You see what I'm saying? That's the only time someone can love you. So the thing is this, if I need a woman or a woman needs a man, I can't fully love you because I need you. I can only love you if I don't need you. You see what I'm saying? That's how it is. It's just like somebody saying, it's like somebody saying like, hey, you know, like if you're friends with someone because, you know, they give you money all the time, right? You're not really friends. You just need them for money. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't need anything from them and you want to hang out with them and chill with them and you just, you know, like to be in the presence of them or whatever, then you can call that your friend because they don't need anything from you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how it works. See what I'm saying?
Facts, man.
Yeah,
exactly. Man. It's like yeah, real quick, I just want to say, it's like that quote that I think it was like Edgar Allan Poe or something like that, where he was like, you know, if you love a flower, you'll let it like lie or whatever, like not pick it up, you know? It's like an analogy for that, basically, you know what I mean? It's like, because as soon as you pick the flower up, it dies, you know? So
exactly.
That kind of thing.
Real talk.
But yeah, for sure, man.
Yes, sir. Well,
man,
Charlie,
I
appreciate the call.
you taking my call.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the call, fam. All right. So guys, call in. Call the number is 844-672-7300. 844-672-7300 is the number. So make sure you guys get that cracking. All right. So we got a 239. What's popping? Who this?
Yo, this is Caleb. I sent $5 to Miles in the game on Cash App.
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
I'm 21 and from Florida. So I'm calling because I listened to an old show where I got like advice from y'all. And I'll definitely say there's a lot of proof that there's more than just looks, because I remember on Valentine's Day I went out and then I called y'all on after then for like the show with you in April. And y'all told me that I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even have the game to be able to set up a threesome when I hollered at two chicks. I was like kind of like beating around the bush. And what I said was just take my number down because I was scared to bring her back, even though she might have been down. So y'all gave me some good advice and I re-listened to it. I'm like, damn, I've grown so much and the amount of game you get on these calls are great. So the fact that you get this much for the free stuff is fire, but y'all got to go on the back end, because once I got the coaching, Locario taught me how to flirt. He told me how to get out. And really, I think what happens with a lot of people is that they're just scared to do what they really want to do. Just like the guys who care about their looks. They're scared to actually go after what they want. So they try to coast on their looks and that's their downfall.
Now that's a fact. Well, that's the thing. The key word is you got to go out. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go out and actually do things and live life and meet people, because you learn more about yourself through those situations. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, there's so much opportunity to do it. It's just, finding places that you like to go to. And there's some game I can't even talk about that you said on the coaching call with how to find those spots. But yeah, there's so much to do. So many opportunities.
That is real talk. That's real talk. That is real talk. So anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. I just had to call in after I heard Charlie also mention, April, and that's a good receipt as well. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the call.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call, fam. That's what's up. Shout out to my dude. And appreciate you, Charlie. That's what's up. So guys, call in. The call-in number is 844-672-7300, 844-672-7300. So let's get back to this real quick. So it said, so when you say you're talking and you're unsure, is that directly connected to insecurity? Yes. So the thing is this, is when you are unsure, right? That means that you are not secure in what you're saying and your thoughts. You're not secure in, how you're expressing yourself, right? So that's a form of insecurity, right? This is why a lot of times guys, when you talk to women, part of what makes you not attractive to the woman is that you are unsure about what you're saying, right? You don't even believe what you're saying. You don't think what you're saying is interesting, or you may think that what you're saying is inappropriate or whatever the fuck it is. You think that, oh, maybe I'm bothering her. I don't know. Should I say it this way or say it? Like you're all over the place, right? So you are not sure of yourself. And part of what makes you attractive is when you are sure of yourself, right? You are confident in what you're saying. You believe in what you're saying. You stand behind what you're saying, right? Meaning that you're not flinching. You're not apologetic about it. You know what I'm saying? You are not ashamed of what you're saying, right? And so the problem is that, a lot of times when you guys will approach women and talk to women, you're second guessing yourself because you don't believe that the woman would actually be interested in who you are, right? And what you're about, how you express yourself, the things you want to say, the things you want to do. And that's coming from insecurity. Because if you believed that what you're about and who you are is attractive, then you would think the woman would be attracted to you. Because remember, you're giving the woman an opportunity when you approach and talk to her. Right? And so if you have the mindset that this woman is getting an opportunity to talk to me and fuck with me, I'm gifting her that opportunity, then you won't have that doubt. Let's go to 937. 937, what's popping with this?
Yo, what up? It's Neb.
What's going on? Did you donate though?
Yeah, it's iTax Media, 531.
Right. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. So what's going on?
So I don't have a question. I just have an observation that I want to share. So, when you are learning the game, you start noticing a lot of things that have to do with game, right? So I'm at the bowling alley, right? And I'm sitting in the parking lot. And this ties into loving yourself. Like you have to love yourself enough to where like the woman has to see it so much in you that she's like almost like a puppy dog when it comes to you. She's just like following you everywhere, right?
Right.
So I'm chilling in the parking lot, and this guy and his one, I guess it was his girlfriend, they were walking out and they were going to his truck, and she followed him to his side of the truck like she was about to drive. And then he turns around, he's like, "What you following me for?" And then she starts laughing. Like, so basically what I'm saying is she was so caught up on him, she didn't even realize what she was doing. She was blindly following him. So look, I'm saying if your girl, if all my dudes out there with a girl, right? If she don't act like that, she probably ain't the right bitch. That's all I'm saying.
That's a fact.
Yeah. You gotta be like a little puppy dog. You gotta just look up to you and just follow you everywhere you go type of shit. So,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, that's all I wanted to share. I'm gonna let y'all, have it.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Appreciate the call, fam. All right.
All right, yes, sir.
Yo. Appreciate it. That's funny. I thought he said it was Nez. That's hilarious. Let me see what these other questions are saying. Says how much women is too much. So too much depends on the individual. You know what I'm saying? And it also depends on what you're doing or what you're trying to do with the situation. I would say like if you're just generally though, if you're just doing some like casual stuff, I'll say like, 2 to 3 in a rotation is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're gonna go crazy and just be out here hooking up with a bunch of women, what you might need to do is you might need to switch out women every now and then. Because if you're consistently seeing a lot of women, that's gonna take up a lot of your time. You see what I'm saying? So I talked about this before. I talked about, like, at one point I was talking to like 9 or 10 women at once. That shit was insane. That shit was too much. I was like, God fucking damn. You see what I'm saying? This says, does being handsome and changing to a personality that breaks cute females' egos help with getting what I want with them, since it breaks the simping pattern that they are used to from dudes? What? What is this? What do you mean by breaking cute females' egos? What is that? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And he's saying, since it breaks the simping pattern, you might need to call in, because I'm not exactly sure. You said, to elaborate, this female I approach rejected me, so I walked out. She then drops all her money out her purse, and I walked around it. And she said, you're not going to help me. And I said, I don't owe you. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? I mean, bro, this right here is nothing. Like, what are you even talking about? Oh my goodness. It says, going up to a woman in a bar and mainly club is a numbers game. Yes, finding the ones that find you sexually attractive is a challenge. Zakar, what would you say to see if she is feeling you or not? Well, this is the thing. It's not a challenge to find if a woman is sexually attracted to you. It's really, really simple. You can find out if a woman is sexually attracted to you in like 30 seconds. You understand what I'm saying? But this is why you need to learn, guys, to build sexual tension. So I tell you guys to go to badboymembership.com so that you can learn how to flirt and build that sexual tension. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, it's so simple to see if a woman is, having some form of sexual interest in you when you're interacting with her, when you first approach her, when you're on a date with her, whatever it is like that. It's really not difficult. You understand what I'm saying? It is not difficult at all. That's why I got programs like this. Another program on the Bad Boy membership, how to sleep with a woman in less than an hour. You feel what I'm saying? So you guys can get that on the Bad Boy membership. See, because the key is this, right? The key is to quickly identify whether or not the woman is interested, right, in interacting with you sexually. Now, this is what I'll say, is that you can quickly determine whether a woman is not sexually attracted to you, right? And you can also determine whether a woman is going to go in a direction where she will reveal, or she is revealing, that she is sexually interested, right? So a lot of times what happens is, the reason why a lot of you guys don't know or are confused as to if a woman is sexually attracted to you or not is because you guys are too scared to talk and say things that will let the woman reveal if she's sexually attracted to you or not. You see what I'm saying? You gotta start being more bold and start flirting more and building sexual tension. Right? So I'll give you a perfect example. Like, let's say you're at an event, a party, let's say you're at a house party or whatever, and all this other shit, and you see a girl chilling across the room or whatever it is like that, right? And you go up to her, and let's say the first things that you say to her are things that she would need to respond to you to reveal whether or not she is interested in you or not sexually, right? So let's say you see a girl from across the room, you walk over to her and you say, hey, listen, I seen you checking me out like for the past 10 minutes, undressing me with your eyes. So when are you going to come over and say hi? Right? So now already I'm just setting the stage for her to respond. You understand what I'm saying? To show whether or not she's going to flirt back. What is she going to say to that? And then that will let you know. Right? So a lot of times you guys are just too scared to flirt and build sexual tension with women. You understand what I'm saying? He said too much game. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta stop being scared. It's easy to bring the shit out of the women, man. Easy. He said, I'm saying cute females usually have high egos from dude simping, so they're usually entitled. So if I say no to any of their requests, would that not break their inflated sense of self? Okay, so Emmy, let me explain something to you, right? So you're saying that these women have, I guess, big egos and all that because, dudes are simping and all this other stuff and they feel entitled and all that other crap, right? Now you're saying if you say no to their request, would that not break their inflated sense of self? Now, let me ask you a question. Why are they giving you requests? See, if they're giving you requests, that means that they are not highly sexually attracted to you and or you are not leading. You see what I'm saying? So if you were leading, what are they requesting? You see what I'm saying? Follow what I'm saying. If you were leading the interaction and conversation, why would they be requesting anything? Right? So the only way a woman would have the chance to request something is if she was to start the conversation or approach you and, make that happen. Or when you're having the conversation, you're not leading the conversation. You see what I'm saying? But understand, a lot of times the requests would happen. Let's say she did it off the bat because she's not really feeling you. Because women who really feel you don't request shit. They wait for you to lead. You understand? He said they looking to humble women. And that's another thing too. Y'all gotta stop with this, like, I've seen videos on YouTube talking about, how to break her ego and all this other shit. It's like, what are we talking about? Crazy. This is, how do you get over approach anxiety when you're worried about other people will overhear you and get you, and you get a reputation for it? I actually did a video about this on the Locario Motivation channel, where I basically was saying that, and Michael, you should watch this. I was basically saying that the reason why you shouldn't care about what other people think about you is really simple, is that nobody cares about your life. Nobody. So Michael, when you're approaching a woman, right? Nobody's checking for you to listen to what you're saying to them. And even if they overheard you, they don't care. You know what I find very ironic, right? Is the guys who are, who have this insecurity, for whatever reason, right? Y'all think that people care about what you're doing. Because check this out. If people were to care about what you're doing, that would mean that you are that interesting and awesome for people to care. And if you're that interesting and awesome for people to care, how are you also insecure about people caring? You see what I'm saying? It's a contradiction. So if you think this many people care about what you're saying, Wouldn't that mean that you're that important for them to care? And if you think you're that important for them to care, wouldn't that mean that you're the shit and you're that awesome? So why are you so insecure? So, Michael, what I'm trying to tell you is nobody cares. That's your answer. You ain't got to worry about your reputation. What reputation? Who the fuck is Michael? You understand what I'm saying? Like, hey, Michael, call in. I want to know about your reputation. Like, who the fuck are you? What reputation do you have? Who are you? Like, y'all, I swear, y'all, it's so funny. Like, y'all, you're just a regular person living your life. What reputation does Michael have? Exactly, Michael with no picture. It has a reputation. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, who are you? Like, imagine Michael lives somewhere, in Utah, somewhere, and he thinks he got a reputation. He go, like, what are we reputation where? In order for you to even have a reputation, that would mean that you are somewhat well known. That's crazy. Man, y'all are hilarious with that shit. I tell you, man. Y'all are hilarious with that shit. Oh my God. That shit is always funny to me. What do you do for a woman on the first date that end the dates because you asked her to come back to your place? Wait, what? So what do you do for a woman on the first date that end the date? So you're saying the woman ends the date? And what do you do for her? Some of y'all just gotta call in because the way y'all write your questions, I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. It says, I can open girls easy now, but when I really like one, I feel that tight tension and hesitate. I don't go direct. Any tip to break that in the moment and just go for it? What do you mean? What do you mean by you open girls easy? What do you talk about? Lux, call up. Call up 844-672-7300. Donate and call up. Because what do you mean? You just go up and say hi and then you feel tense and you walk away? Like, what are you talking about? I need to hear what you're saying. I know they said they have the PUA talk. Let me open her. It says, well, it's like people saying, oh, I know this guy. He always goes around approaching women. You're definitely Michael. Nobody know. Y'all motherfuckers. Bruh, Michael, come on, fam. What is y'all dudes are? This is how you know niggas ain't really living life for real. Okay, Michael. I don't know. Let's say you live in New York, right? Let's say you went to fucking Times Square and you saw a girl and you went up and approached her. And then the next day you went to Union Square and 14th Street and then you approached the woman. And then let's say you drove and you met your friend in Jersey and you were in Hoboken and you approached the woman. Who the fuck knows you, Michael? You understand what I'm saying? Who the fuck knows Michael? You said to be fair, he might live in what it don't even matter if he lives in a small town. He could live in a small town of like 1,000 niggas. Nobody still know who the fuck is Michael. Who knows you? You said you're at a college. What college are you at, Michael? What college? And again, who knows Michael at the college? Who the fuck is Michael? Matter of fact, there's probably like dozens, probably hundreds of Michaels at your college. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? He said a big one. Look at you. You can't even tell us what's the name of the college, Michael. So if you're at a big college, Michael, and you go and approach a woman, who the fuck is going to care? Everybody's going to class, doing their homework, fucking talking to other people. Nobody, Michael, let me tell you, let me give you the best advice you're ever gonna hear in your life. Michael, nobody, and I mean nobody, gives a shit about you. You understand what I'm saying? Michael, let me tell you, nobody cares about you. I promise you, nobody cares about you. That's all you need to know. If you approach a girl and talk to her, nobody's going to give a shit. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say you approach a girl in a hallway and there's like 7 people that walk past you as you approach that woman. You think a random stranger who walks past you is going to be like, oh my God, who is that guy over there talking to a woman? I got to go find, do any of you guys know who that is? They're like, oh no, we don't know. Everybody, does everybody know who that guy is? Like, what the fuck? Like, Michael, come on, fam. Y'all are so, y'all can't be serious with this shit. Like, y'all can't be serious with this shit. Oh, man. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Listen, Michael, I live in New York City. There are millions of people here, right? I'm on social media every fucking day, right? And I go outside and people actually recognize me from the internet. And they still don't give a fuck. Nobody's like, oh my God, I saw Locario. Nobody don't give a, and there's so many people who don't know who the fuck I am. And I'm on the internet every day getting thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views every day. And nobody gives a shit. And you, Michael, with no picture on the internet, you think, he said, I just don't like when people think I'm weird. I really appreciate it. Michael, this is what we're trying to tell you. Nobody knows you to think you're even weird. But let's go to 470. 470, what's poppin'? Who this?
Yo, it's M8.
What's going on? What's poppin'? Did you donate?
Is it MrLocario.com? Mr. Locario, the Cash App? That's what I came to ask.
Nah, the Cash App is $ Miles in the Game. Or, are you watching me on YouTube right now?
I just pulled up your YouTube.
All right. Do you see the top of the chat where that's pinned?
Yes.
Yeah, you see all those links?
Yeah, I see the links.
Okay. Right. So you gotta hit that link, donate, and then call right back. All right.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, Michael, Michael, in order for people to think you're weird, they got to be thinking about you. And nobody's thinking about you, so nobody is thinking you're weird. You see what I'm saying? Man. This shit is crazy. Woo. This shit is crazy. You see how a person's mind can just fuck them up? You see how a person's mind can fuck them up? This is crazy. But guys, call in. We're going to do another maybe 5 minutes and we're going to wrap this shit up. We're about to wrap it up. So if you guys want to call in, now is the time. If you have any more questions, put them in the chat, and make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for the Real Game No Theory show. So make sure you do that. So that's going to be fire. But see, the thing is with Michael, a lot of guys think this. A lot of guys in their own head, they're worried about what other people are thinking, worried about their reputation, even though they have no reputation. Michael, I'm telling you, the best thing you got to understand, remember, when you go out there, just think to yourself, nobody's watching me. Nobody cares. And sweet spot, you go to MrLocario.com and hit up the 30-minute game session on the front page. It'll scroll on the carousel. Just hit that and set up the 30-minute call so we can do that. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see. Is there any more questions? It says, how to start a convo with a woman or a effective way to put a bid. Please elaborate. Gain, you're going to need some coaching, man. So, a broad question like that, You definitely need some coaching. Abel just put the link in the chat. So if you want to book a 30-minute game session, hit that link in the chat. You feel what I'm saying? So Gain and Sweet Spot, definitely hit that link. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how you get the coaching. Definitely hit that link. Man, Michael definitely needs some coaching, for real, for real. Like, he needs coaching. Seriously, this is crazy. It says, by consistently approaching women, whether you're rejected or not, you will learn more about truly being yourself and loving yourself as well, right? Exactly. Yes, that's the point. The point is, see, the thing is, you learn more about yourself through experiences. The experiences you have teach you a lot about yourself. I always say that. I can only teach you so much. There's certain things that I can't teach you because there's certain things you have to learn by yourself through experience. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't teach you how to learn about yourself through your experience. You understand what I'm saying? So, and in fact, a lot of this stuff that I talk about will make more sense to you the more you learn through experience. Because when you start talking to women, you're going to be like, oh, so this is what Locario was saying about high interest, medium interest, and low interest. Oh, this is what Locario is talking about, where if he says talk to 25 women a day, I'll figure out like, oh, certain things that I say that work and don't work, or certain things that I do that benefit me more than other things, or, oh, I realized the patterns he was talking about. All the things that I talk about will be revealed as you're having the experience. You see what I'm saying? Says, I saw that live you briefly spoke on when it came to guys speaking on looks and interaction. Doesn't matter when you have looks. Why do you think guys are adamant about looks being gold to women? Well, that's because they don't have experience. You see what I'm saying? That's why I keep trying to tell you guys. When you don't have experience, what you do is that you come up with these theories based on your limited experience, I should say, right? So you got to have more experience to understand what's really going on out here in these streets. You said, so even if you may be in a bad financial position in life, that should not have any effect on you approaching women, right? I mean, you yourself used to pull women even when you were broke. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The thing is that you don't need money to attract women. Women don't need your money. A lot of women you talk to probably have more money than you. So what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? They don't need your money. You understand? And in fact, this is why a lot of guys have a hard time getting girls today. Because back in the day, women might have needed your money more. So they would fuck with you because of the money. They'd be like, okay, well, I could at least fuck with this guy and you know, get some money out of him. And then sometimes I'll give the guy some pussy. And women still do that today too. But what I'm saying is women are more like, let me actually find a guy that I'm really like or I'm really sexually interested in and then fuck with him. So once you are the type of guy who has sex appeal, then it's easy for you to pull women and make shit happen. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So that's pretty much it. We about to wrap this shit up. So guys, make sure that you guys go to shoplocario.com, badboymembership.com. Make sure you guys go to cunninghamelements.com and masculineidentitymembership.com. Also, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for the Real Game No Theory show. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. And we will holler at y'all later. And remember, guys, the truth is inside you. Out of here. Peace. Listen. Ask me if I care. I promise I don't care. She told me that she got hurt in the past. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm thinking, what's up with all of that ass? I ain't tricking, bitch, don't ask me about cash. Why these hoes be telling me all they problems? I ain't saving them, ain't my fault they got them. I can't solve them and I could never stop them. All I'm concerned with is hitting the bottom. She got scarred in her life, I don't care. care about her life. She got scarred in her life. I don't care about her life. This girl's looking for a listening ear. Don't she notice that I really don't care? I'm a man, she should go choose the bear. I'll explain to her that life isn't fair. Why you wanna talk to me about your life? I'm just trying to hit, I don't want a wife. You lie saying you want somebody nice. He has your back, you stab his with a knife. You be wanting your friends to be men. You know you don't care about none of them. Or I should say they don't care about you. They only there cause they hoping to screw. You saying guys only want one thing. You frontin' as if you don't want flings. You want the guy with dough, you want bling. Now you wanna be a queen, you want kings. Why you trying to search for a gentleman? Do you think that's how you will get a man? You don't understand, so you won't get a man. I don't wanna talk, I am not Letterman. She got scarred in her life. I don't care about her life. She got scarred in her life. I don't care about her life. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. She's got scarred in her life. I don't care about her life. She got scarred in her life. I don't care.